Namaste YouTube, welcome to Cafe Enoma's Mega Music Reaction Test, and we are going to give our reaction to Van Morrison, and this one is for on Hyndford Street.
On Hyndford or Hyndford Street as I would call it. Let's get started with our first time single take on this reaction to a very popular request.
Take me back. Take me way, way, way back. On Hyndford Street, where you could feel the silence at 11:30 on long summer nights, as the wireless played Radio Luxembourg and the voices whispered across Beachy River. In the quietness as we sank into restful slumber in the silence, and carried on dreaming in God. It walks up Cherry Valley from North Road Bridge railway line on sunny summer afternoons, picking apples from the side of the tracks that spilled over from the gardens of the houses on Cypress Avenue, watching the moth catcher work the floodlights in the evenings, and meeting down by the pylons, playing round Mrs. Kelly's lamp, going out to Hollywood on the bus and walking from the end of the lines to the seaside, stopping at Fusco's for ice cream in the days before rock and roll. Hyndford Street, a better parade, Orange Field, St. Donald's Church, Sunday six bells. And in between the silence there was conversation and laughter and music and singing and shivers up the back of the neck. And tuning into Luxembourg late at night and jazz and blues records during the day. Also Debussy on the third program early mornings when contemplation was best. Going up the Castlereagh Hills and the craggy glens in summer and coming back to Hyndford Street feeling wondrous and lit up inside with a sense of everlasting life. And reading Mr. Jelly Roll and Big Bill Brinsley and Really the Blues by Ms. Mesro and Dharma Bums by Jack Kerouac over and over again. And voices echoing late at night over Beachy River. And it's always being nigh. And it's always being nigh. It's always nigh. Can you feel the silence? Hyndford Street, where you could feel the silence at 11:30 on long summer nights, as the wireless played Radio Luxembourg and the voices whispered across Beachy River. And in the quietness we sank into restful slumber in silence and carried on dreaming in God.
this was as if this is guided meditation going on.
Exactly.
And his voice and that music in the background echoing. Wow, this was quite deep.
It was so poetic, so beautiful. It made me nostalgic. Oh, the sinking into the slumber on those quiet nights, the long walks
Beachy
along
rivers.
the railroad tracks, the whispers that could be heard across the beachy river, the late nights, 11:30 when it was completely quiet. This is a dedication, tribute, a celebration of silence. You know, silence is so important in today's world. We live in a world that's deeply troubled, very noisy at times, confusing, chaotic, worrisome, problematic, depressing, sad, and
Very loud at the same time.
you need to quieten things down, and this will do it. This will do it. Meditate or listen to Van Morrison's song.
You will automatically meditate because the way he was guiding it, the way he was describing things, you are picturizing all those things in your mind. So you are actually not thinking about anything else but listening to his voice, and you are visiting those places what he's describing, and it is more effective for those people who have been there if it is a place.
It must be. It definitely
Hyndford
must be.
Street. So those people can see everything very clearly with their eyes what exactly it looks like.
We can imagine it and sense it. It was so beautifully portrayed, beautifully sung. I love audiobooks, and this kind of reminded me of audiobooks. You know, especially the novels, Famous Five, Sherlock Holmes. I've heard them, 10, 15 years ago, even though I'd grown up. But since the audiobooks weren't there when I was a child, I heard them when I grew up and had access to them on Gutenberg Project for free. So I love listening to audiobooks, and I love storytellers. Bruce Springsteen, Van Morrison. Now recently I've started listening to him, reacting to him. Bob Dylan, Billy Joel. Storytellers are marvelous. A bit of Rod Stewart, a bit of the Beatles. Ooh, this makes you nostalgic. At least for me,
I loved his voice.
It took me back to my childhood days, April Shah's, South Mumbai. Whoa, I remembered that street. Wow, the streets of Aglipada. So it was just beautiful, What are your thoughts on it, the lyrics?
I love the way he said it. Every word, his voice is amazing.
The voice is
amazing voice. It's so soothing. It is so soulful. It is so. I don't know. Some people just get it. They just have it. You can't create it. You can't, try and do it. You have to have it. And every time I listen to Van Morrison, he's a notch up. He's always a notch higher than the last one. I remember Take Me Back.
I think it's the
and
same
this
album.
is a continuation of that because he said in the
beginning he said
because he said take me back to way back, and I remembered that song instantly. Take me way back. So and then it starts with the description of this street, beautiful street with beachy rivers and all the things happening. Him reading relentlessly, listening to jazz, listening to music. Oh wow, the night is great.
Yeah,
The
loved
night
it.
on Hyndford Street is amazing.
This is guided meditation for
This
sure.
was guided
This is beautiful listening. This is relaxing. This is soothing. This makes you nostalgic. It's important to keep music like this alive and thriving. Not just alive but thriving too. Because this generation may be missing out on music like this, I feel. So it's important to keep reacting to
This music
Van Morrison
is
if we
helpful
can,
with people.
I mean,
With people whose minds just don't stop wandering. For them, this is the perfect choice.
it's an honor to react to
If
music
you
like
have,
this.
episodes of panic and anxiety and problems like that where you find very difficult to calm yourself, just sit and listen to the music with your headphones on and and zone out. Don't think about anything else. Anyway, you can't think about anything else when your headphones are on your ears and you're listening to this voice and that background sound that we created. I don't know what the instruments that are played with air, with the blow, what they are called, the whole category.
Air instruments, wind instruments.
Wind instruments. Some of them, something was played like that because
Yeah, that stretch,
yeah,
the wonderful stretch throughout the song while he spoke.
it was lingering in the background. It was
Storytellers like him are, one in a billion.
people think there are no solutions to their problems, and they go actually because they go to wrong places. They knock the wrong doors for certain problems. There are solutions to many problems. You have to just know the right solution or where you can find it. And trust me, if people, those who have problems with controlling their thinking and mind from going and running here and there, they must listen to this.
This song.
This is therapeutic.
This song on Hyndford Street is an urgent reminder to all of us to slow down, to meditate, to lay down, sit down in silence. Silence is golden. Silence is the best medicine. It's important that we all spend time in silence because that's when we really can understand the beauty of life within us and around us.
Thanks for watching.